Hello? Okay. Now it's good to go. I didn't unlock my microphone. All right. Good. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now we're good to go. Now I would like to see my stream here. If that was possible. Okay. Now we're good to go. Nice. Stream is on. Okay. Hi guys. Today I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make an actual Friday Night Funkin' song. I'll be showing you how easy it is to make your own chromatic scale, how easy it is to actually make a melody. It's very easy, and it'll take some time, I know, because we got work to do here. We're gonna start off with a simple bass, and we're going to level it up to make an actual melody. So to get started, I'm gonna show you my latest creation in terms of Friday Night Funkin'. I'm gonna go over here on the documents. I'm gonna go to FL Studio. Oh, no. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. I hope it stopped. Projects. Okay, nice. So, it's really easy to actually make your own song. I'm also keeping up the chat to see. Okay. Now we're gonna let it load. I'm gonna let you listen to this uh, song. But it's really easy, actually. It takes time also to load, but trust me, that right there is gonna be a work of art. Even if it takes time to load here, but it's gonna be good. Okay, here we are. Now this is an unreleased song for Friday Night Funkin' mod, and most of it is how do we say it? I didn't use much to make this mod. I use a chromatic scale. This is my personal chromatic scale. This is a boyfriend, Good. My chromatic scale. Oops, what did I click? Okay, good. Now, this is not really how it sounds at start, but I also modified, edited the audio clips to make it sound more 8-bit. I used many uh, presets to make this song. As you can see, like I used most of the same preset, but I used it in different tones. I pitched it up a little bit. I changed it using some effects, and yeah, it's really easy to make. I'll take you. I'll take you. I'll let you take a listen to this one to see how easy and good it is to make a song. I'm also mute myself, so that won't be a bother to you. all of that. I don't know. It probably sounds like too much altogether. It sounds a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. So, how do you think I started up to, having all of these to now having all this melody together? Well, the most important thing I'll show you guys first is how to make your own chromatic scale. It's very easy to make a chromatic scale, and it'll take very, very little. I followed the tutorial from BB Panzu, which is a very famous composer. Also makes a very good FNF song. And yeah, mostly followed his tutorial. But mostly what it takes to you is to download Audacity. I'll show you the app here on my computer. That's the name of the app. So Audacity. Basically, you have to record your own voice. You have to cut it up, and yeah, raw. You have to put it on FL Studio. You have to cut it up to make to tone it up using Effector, and you cut it up a bit. But feel free to follow up BB Panzu to show you how easy it is to make your own chromatic scale. And after you follow up all the work, you should be able to get this. Now, I'm gonna pitch it up here. I'm gonna remove the effects. Hold on. So, boom, boom. I know it sounds kind of bad, but it's the effect that change how good it will sound at the end. So if it start off like bad like this, add up some sound guidizer and some effects, and that'll start off with that. Sound more eerie, more 8-bit. That's the thing. Now, once you chop up all the vocals, so it has to be like a kind of a, let me see. Has to sound out like that. Then, well, you can find the boyfriend preset anywhere on the internet. Just follow, just search up how to download FNF boyfriend chromatic scale, and that'll be good to go. Boom. And yep, you got your voices here. So the most of the song is almost done. And now, onto the melody. You can pretty much do anything with the melody, but I'll show you the most important thing is to make the bass. A bass is probably like the best thing you could do in a song. So for example, this is the bass I used. Okay, so pretty simple, some jumping up and down. But for this bass, I used 2 octaves. So what is an octave? For example, here let me. Okay, an octave is is a set of notes. For example, we start off at C2 to this one here. So from here to here, let's say that's an octave. Let's say that's an octave. And for example, from B2 to B3, I basically copied. So let's see. I'm gonna mute up notes to show you how easy it is. So to give that boss fight feeling, boom, 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 boom. So you chop this up. So okay, so 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. I will take off these. I will mute them so it will sound mostly like this. Oops, forgot that one. So let's see. We have to chop it up a bit to see to get that original bass sound. So okay. So this I made is a second bass, which is to give that eerie sounding feeling to the song that pitches down the same melody but to a different octave and gives you more of a bass feeling because if you listen it up like that, it sounds like a bass, but since it's an 8-beat bass, uh, it doesn't really give the feeling. In fact, if I use it on the song, you won't really feel it. So I'm gonna show you with the song. I'm actually gonna mute the vocals. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna put the full song. So this is how the song sounds without the second bass I added from the 8-bit. We're gonna stop here, but as you can see, it doesn't really give that energy. So we added another section of the bass. So the same melody I put here, the actual same one, but I basically just, took all of this, I copied it and pasted it down here to B0. And if we activate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them here, you will really feel the bass in the song. You will feel a lot stronger. Oops, sorry. You will feel a lot stronger. Look at that. I'll show you in the song. See, the bass is a lot stronger. You can feel it. It gives that kick to the melody. And you had a good bass when it sounds like that. Plus, it has that rough kind of a feeling right here. Sound like complete garbage. It does sound like a complete garbage, but with the song itself, it heads up a lot. Now, for the melody. The melody is probably the one stage of the song you have to be really careful with because it's with the melody that you basically give life to the song. So, for example, uh, right here I picked up the same one, so it's a times 3 aux, and I basically selected these settings to make the song to make it sound like more 8-bit. So that's usually how it sounds. I pitched it up a tiny bit to give it a half tune sound, but it's all part of the song. It's not a wrong thing I made. It's not a mistake. I made it on purpose, and I put it on the 100th track to basically separate it from the other tracks, which I'll explain later on their use. And basically, you widely make a melody. You have different types of melody you can make. For example, I use the chord here to make a melody, and that's how it sounds like. Now, it might sound very simple, monotone, but I actually put a few work to make these. You might think, what type of work did I use to make all of that? Well, actually, to make all of this, I had to basically chop up each vocal and give it a different channel to for your headphones, so for the ear to not um, not be all to the center of the eardrum to basically just smash too many sounds and confuse the song itself. So it basically spreads all around the song and doesn't feel like a complete mess. So for example, the first two chords, so B4 and D5, so these two are pitched to pan on the left. To It's basically on the left, so it basically this note plays all around to the left eardrum. So if you have headphones right now and listening to the sound with the headphones, you can feel it. Okay, if I click here, the sound is pitched to the center. Imagine you're at the center and you're feeling this sound at the center. But because it's the tiles that give the effect. But I basically just clicked this note and I panned the note all the way to the left, so it will basically play like that. And the same thing I applied to D5. So 1 and D5, they only play to the left earpiece, while for F5 and B5, so they only play it on the right side of the eardrum. But let's say I put them all back, so we do 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Boom. I will pitch them up all the way to the start. It will sound pretty loud. So, for example, if you put it with the song, you'll hear like it covers up most of the bass and the vocal itself. So, for example, here I'll show you. See, it just covers up the start. You can't hear the bass, you can't hear the vocals, but I deactivate them on purpose. But if I activate them back, you can see the difference. For example, the vocals are meant to overtake the song, so you hear the singing part. But if you hear with a melody, it does not give that effect. So if we go back here, we are going to change up the notes. So to pan, the last two notes are going to be on the right side, while the first two notes are going to be on the left side. That's right. So it gives this vibe. As you can see, now that it spreads around the earpiece, it won't sound like a shuffled melody all, you know, pushed together at the center of the earpiece, but it sounds like a more spread around, and you can feel each sound separately. So that's the first part of the melody. For example, here I used a second melody to a different channel. So for example, I used the same preset, just different sounds, different presets. So for example, if the previous sounded like that, this sound this sounds like more suffocated, more shuffled, as you can see, and it sounds like this. So it's the same melody, same one, but I pitched it down an octave, so it sounds kind of darker. Same concept applies here, so you just uh, put the first two notes to the pan left and the last two notes the pan right, so the melody does not sound too messy, and it spreads around your earpiece evenly. So I got the second melody, because if I deactivated this one, uh, the song doesn't really give up the vibe of fighting. For example, this song was for example made for a fight. and between boyfriend and this character, and that's basically gives the sound. You give your own theme to your song depending on the situation. So if I deactivated the second melody, that's how it's gonna sound like. Like it still sounds good, but it doesn't give that fight spirit. It kind of leaves you with a teasing atmosphere. You still are in a tense situation, but without the sin itself, it doesn't give the vibe really. But if you use it, that's how it sounds like. So that's how it mostly sounds. But that's just an example of what we need to use. And additionally, if you want to make your song cooler, you could add some delayed notes that give out like they're playing more than once. I'll show you an example. That's probably the first the most you can hear in the song. But for example, if we studied this more, if we look on the channel 2, so we go to channel 2, we applied a 3D delay 3, which is a special channel to give a delay to your audios. It has different ranges, different audios, volumes, and all the stuff. And for example, if we deactivate this one, you won't hear the echo at all. So it doesn't feel like you're on a on a tense situation. Kind of gives monotone vibes. So that's how it's gonna sound like without the delay. Boom. So if you hear it on the song, it will sound even worse. I mean, you can still hear it, but not the same as the delay itself. It makes it feel even more attracting. It sounds like I used echoing here, but no, like I didn't use any echoing at all. It's just the frequency of the tone. You could change it up. I used the third frequency, the third range, to make it like da 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 based also on the of my BPM, and that's how it would have sounded if I pitched it down by 2 levels. So for example, if I pitch it on I mean I still like it, but if I pitch it up on the second level, it still sounds good, but it's not my tempo. But if we go to the third level, anyway, if you want to put it at that level, that fits the BPM and the vibe of the song. It fits completely. Also, it has here, if you put it on tempo sync, that's immediately syncs up to your tempo here, and that goes up to the song, and boom. That's just an example, but now we'll move to the actual song, to an actual full project that I use to make all of it. I have to move this here to documents. I don't know why it moved it back, but move here. Okay, good. FL Studio. Go to the projects. We have different ones. Um, many uh, projects I made. Most of them are just simple songs for FNF, and others just remakes of popular games. For example, Undertale, um, Super Mario 64, actual songs. For example, Better Off Alone, Talking to the Moon, and all the stuff. Um, if we go, for example, my favorite song that I made recently is Final Struggle, which is still like an unreleased song for my mod, and you can see how I applied the whole thing, like these whole steps to make my Friday Night Funkin' song. It's very, very easy. So we're gonna let it load. Now for this, I used many, many, many presets. A lot of presets. Most of them are just downloaded. Also, them are just imported or they're already in the system of FL Studio. So if I show you, this is all unsorted, but if I show the all, if I show you everything here, you can see that there's a lot going on. Don't feel scared to look a lot of this, but um, that's gonna be easy to make at the end. You have to, of course, give it time, and I'll show you now how it goes. Okay, I'll show you the result at the end. Even if the song is should be like 4 minutes long, and it took me a total of 2 days to make using breaks, regular breaks, and that's how it came out. So first, to start making song, you have to keep a pace. You can, if you make a song in 10 hours, that'll mess up a lot because you basically wouldn't have the right pace to make a song, and you will feel pretty much stressed to make it. Sometimes you could even lose the spirit to make your own song, the inspiration itself. So, for example, um, my personal favorite reason to make a song is to get inspired by other songs. It's not copying; it's getting inspired. For example, most of the songs I made are either inspired by IRL songs, other Friday Night Funkin' songs, or just you get an idea of what you want and you just make it. It's all about creativity. So, for example, this song, uh, each song has to explain a vibe, has to explain a story of what's happening into the song. So, for example, you could make this whole thing, but you have to give it a theme. He has to teach, narrate something because it would be a pretty cool song, but it also has to tell a lot about the melody, about what's going on. That's all the whole thing. So, for example, we have in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I'm not mistaken, no, 7. I have 7 uh, people singing this song, but I don't let them sing all together. Otherwise, it will just mess up the song a lot. You won't understand a single thing. For example, I colored each person to not mess up, to recognize who is who, to use the every every voice correctly, to not mess up the actual vibe of the song. And pretty much all has to go here is we start off with a bass. So we go to the unsorted section, which is all the instrumental. And we start, okay, the first instrument has to usually be the bass. As you can see, I have a synth bass. I'm playing on the first octave, so it doesn't really sound like a bass, but if we go to the pattern that is used, which is pattern 4, so for each pattern, you can find where the thing is used. For example, two-hole synth bass is used on pattern 4. So you open up the pattern 4, and this is the bass that I've used. Oh no, that's not the bass. That's not bass. Sorry, the bass starts at pattern 3. So sorry. So remember that the bass has to be at least C3 and lower, not higher. I mean, you could do this too. For some songs, I've did use a C3 and higher, but it's recommended to do a C3 and lower. It gives that more of a vibe song. So the bass I use for this one is a synth from Tuhu, a preset, a sound font from Tuhu. It's a pretty popular sound font to make pretty popular songs. If you know Tuhu, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I've used the synth bass, which should be the 26th here, right there. There's many more you could pick from. You know, sometimes it is difficult itself to pick up an actual font, sound font. So, for example, that's how it should sounding like. So you know it's based. But if we deactivate the effector, so to remove the 8-bit sound, so that's how it sounds like. It's still a bass, it's still good, but it also always depends on what the situation is in the song. So I added some 8-bit. I'll also show you effector. There it is. I use the lo-fi, and I pitched it up to the one, two, three, four, fifth row of the fifth row and the third parameter right there. Always be careful on the tempo of the song if it's 1/4, 3/8, and all of this. Um, and yeah, that's all good to go. So that's how my bass sounds like with the effector on, and also a sound goodizer. If I forgot to mention this one, if I deactivate, that's how the bass without the effects would sound like. Still sounds good. Still sounds good. But if we use the effect, that's how it's gonna sound like. It's gonna sound like more. It's gonna sound neat. It gives a better quality. That's the thing I'm trying to mention here. So, as the bass is ready, we can move on to the melody. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, a melody is your basically base of the song itself. It's a bass, not the bass, the bass. So, if you know what I mean, you can use it however you like. Has to give a meaning to the song. So, what my melody is trying to teach here is it's not chords. It's just strings, simple tones. Doesn't really add up to the song itself at starting, but that's the point. This melody right here that I'll let you listen. So this melody right here is meant to give that eerie kind of feeling that you don't know what you're about to face, you don't know what's about to happen, and it's pretty much building up the song, building up the tempo, and alone itself, it sounds pretty basic. So if you listen to it again, actually, I'm gonna remove the the effects. So I'll show you how it sounds without the delay and all of that. Oops, wrong one. I also deactivated the thing here. I don't know what I clicked here. Okay, there we are. Now, uh, be always sure of the channel you're selecting for. My synth is bright Yamaha Grand, so I use the piano for this one. So I'm gonna go to the panel 3, which is the one I used to give sound. So be always careful to select each channel separately to not mix up the effects and to, be sure on what you're doing here. So I put it on channel 3 because that was the first channel that didn't have any other mixed up effects for other channels and other presets. And I use an effector to give a lo-fi, so always a 8-bit. I use the first row at the fourth panel, so read this one right here, and sounds like this. It's still a piano, but if I deactivate it, it's a piano, regular piano. But it doesn't really sound like when you activate the effect. Now I added a reverb and a delay, and you might be asking, why would you add a reverb and a delay in the same song? Well, it's pretty simple because I'm using a piano. You could do this even without the piano, but that's how it would sound like. Wait, I'm gonna deactivate the delay. See, it doesn't sound like an actual piano. It's not like you're playing a piano in real life. So a reverb, usually when you play a piano in real life, that's how it should sound like. At the end, it doesn't leave you with blank. Kind of leaves you with uh, um, a fading out song. And with a delay itself, kind of gives out a cool vibe. So, but a piano in real life gives you a fading out effect when you finish playing a note. For example, if I play a melody right now, for example, that song was a pretty popular song. I follow. But anyways, yeah. Usually when you play a piano, sounds like that. And by using an effector and a delay, you get this kind of melody. That if I played without all the effects, that's how would it sounded like. I mean, it still sounds good, but it's not in the vibe. That's what I'm trying to teach you. So you got the first melody complete, but that's what I'm about to teach you. So we go on to the audios. So I have this whole list of audios that I extracted from different presets from video games, the ones I made myself. Yeah, that's pretty much all what's going on. But something I really love to use in songs to give an eerie vibe, depending of what the theme of the mod is. But I use the Adams noise, which is basically that eerie noise you hear in horror movies. I'm gonna let you listen to it. Oops, it's not playing. Oh. That windy effect you get when you play a horror game, when you looking at a horror movie, and whenever you're in a lonely and you hear this sound. You know that it's a horror thing. It's something eerie. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I mix it up with the melody, so the piano and the Adams noise, so if you use these two together, oh, and also I used in the pattern sixth, a preset from Last Breath. I don't know if you're familiar with Undertale mods, Last Breath, Undertale, and I used this preset I downloaded from the internet that I will open up for you. Last Breath. There it is. I use this preset, which is the Phase 2 vibes, and that's how it sounds like. Which is like a Glocken thing. I don't remember the name of it. Glockenspire, Glockenspire. I don't know. Which if I deactivate all of this, see, it's just a regular instrument that you could hear in Undertale songs. So for example, okay, I have these on, and it's on channel 5 here, channel 5, sorted up from the others, as you can see. But if I deactivated it and play the song without this second melody, that's how it would sound like. See, it still sounds like eerie, but it needs something to add up to the kick itself. So if we activate this, see, it sounds good now because it has a second melody to support the first melody to give a powerful sound to the song that adds up to the vibe of teasing, mysteriousness, eerie, all of this. So altogether, that sounds out like that. Actually, I wanted to let you hear the sound without the effect. So I'm gonna go to 1 and 2 right here. And if I deactivate it, that's how they sound like without the effect. See, it's pretty basic. I I wouldn't expect a performance like that from such monotone instruments, but if I with the effects themselves, it sounds a lot cooler, a lot cooler. Now, with the atom noise itself, it's up to the melody, but I will now teach you something pretty cool I use to make songs, which is a reverse crash. As you can see, these are the same ones. So I have a crash 1 and a crash 16. So usually the crash is, that melody that kicks off into a song, like it gives that. Sorry for the bad sound imitation, but I'll show you what I mean. You could hear this anywhere, FNF, usual songs, anywhere. But it's that song that kicks you up into the melody. It pushes you. It's telling you that action is, everything has begun. Everything is good. We started a song. The vibe is on. That's the thing. It's pushing you into the song. But if we use the same one and we reverse the effect, that's how it's gonna sound like. For example, I will double click on this one, and to make it so, this is how it sounds like. See, I'll show you. See, it's the same one, but I chopped it up. And used the part that interested me, but to reverse it to give that charging up vibe, which is called how was it called, like how was it called again? Yeah, I keep forgetting the name of that thing, but it's basically yeah, I'm gonna look it up here. Should be. I keep forgetting how that's named, but it's the if I get what I mean. Um, let's see if I can find it. That's basically all the things I have extracted from a lot of mods, but we're looking for the charging sound, which I keep forgetting the name of it. I will get back to it later. But anyway, it's a loop that you use to give that charging effect. It's a solid thing, you know. Good, good. Should be somewhere around here. I keep forgetting where that is, but we're gonna get to it later. Uh, so we have our crash here. To reverse it, there's this area right here that you can select in the wrench, this little wrench icon. There should be like other things activated. You deactivate them all, and you go to reverse. You click this one. You can close this one, and then you have your crash that acts out like as a charging loop. So, oops. So it has to sound like this. See, it's pretty easy to make. Very, very easy. So that's good to go. You have your charging effect, this good old loop, and it's just the same thing but reversed. So you also cycle up to not use many different preset that overrides the song itself. But yeah, so all together, it sounds like. Oops, I stopped it too early. So I'll play them separately. See, I mean, it sounds pretty basic, but we need to add a kick. So I use this orchestral drum to that basically plays this. So using this drum together, it sounds pretty cool. So I tried to do my best to sync them up, but I'm not really good at it. But yeah, this kick gives you the kick into the song. So now, with all that confusing thing, all the stuff, you add up to your melody, and you. I would recommend everyone who does a Friday Night Funkin' song to separate your characters. To do not make them into the same channel. I also renamed it to be sure that each of them are separate. And so whenever I click this, I know that this is the character that it's been used. So it's in this case it's Mercy, Merciless, Boyfriend, Oshi, and Nomura. That's what is happening right here. So yeah, and we got your characters ready. You can also color them however you like, as you can see here I did. And yeah, that's good to go. But we still have a lot to go on too. But I'll be simple enough to make it up to you. So for example, I used this chromatic scale that I made myself, measuring also the distance between the starting of the verse and the ending of the introduction. So for example, I used my own stopped chromatics. So this one right here. Also, I'll using a lot of effects, all of that. So if I go replay the verse, that's how it sounds like at the start. Okay, if I deactivate all the effects, in this case though, so we go on deactivate effector, delay, sound geyser, and reverb, that's how it sounds like. That's how it sounds like. I mean, and you can't even hear it in the song. So if I play it here, see, you don't hear it in the song. It's getting overtaken by the melody itself. But with the real adjustments, just working up a little bit, you're gonna hear the actual melody, and you can hear it in the song. So okay, so we got boyfriend. We basically just copied this whole verse right here, and we pasted that there using some personalized starting points. It's all creativity. Uh, that's all. You can also add some. So basically, I did the same thing over and over. So I basically copied the verse. But since I don't have anything else here to show, I'll just let you listen to the song from the start to the end till we get to newer verse here, and I'll explain to you what's going on. So enjoy. Boom. We're gonna pause here, and it's good, it's neat, and a little tip to make your song sound cooler with your characters. It's not giving monotone notes. You have to patch it up and down so it sounds like that. It doesn't sound like just monotone, but it has like a realistic voice effect. So oh and it's not it's oh eh. So sorry for the bad imitation again. But that's what I'm trying to teach you. And at the end, I always add the trembling notes to give that dramatic kind of, I sound kind of like sans, but at the end. But here, I'll just let you listen to what I mean. See, it trembles, and if I deactivate the effects, you can hear it furthermore. So we go to channel one, we go boom, 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 and factor as well. So see, it trembles, and it's cool because it adds up dramatic stuff to your song if the vibe is correct. So now, furthermore, we move now onto the second section of the song, which is additional melody and sound effects, to give it a kick, spice it up the song a bit. So same bass, same melody, right here, right there. So we just going to oops again. We're gonna exclude this whole part right here. So we're gonna exclude this, and we're going to move on to patterns 9 and 10. Now pattern 9, I used a 8-bit. It's the previous one as the example song I used. So 3 times ask, and if we open up the preset, it doesn't have any channel to go to. Just I used it however that came for. So regular. Didn't add up anything else. Just I changed this to this to give the 8-bit sound. and kind of lower the volume to not overtake the song. And didn't really use any effects in this one, but I valorized a lot the moving notes. So basically, the fading up notes, fading up and down, like it's like an alarm going on. That's like an alarm. It's like danger is about to come. So be aware, and that's how it sounds like. Sounds. I know it sounds pretty bad how it is, but with the song itself, it adds up a lot. It's kind of goofy, like woo 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 woo, but it's with together with the song that gives the alarm. You can feel it's kind of warning you. And now we move on to the most important part of a song, which is the drums. Now, for the drums, you have to be very, very selective. You have to be careful on how you place the notes. Usually, to make your own drums, you don't have to use too much. For example, you use a kick. So use a kick. For example, I use two kicks here. So one, two, and then I use I forgot how it's named. Pretend that's the clap. No, that's the clap. That's the clap. So pretend it's some sort of clap. Then up here we have the hi hat. So it's those little sounds that play like, and together sounds like that. So it's pretty simple. Didn't use too much, but I make sure whenever you use drums and hi hats, you have to time them up for each. It's just called the snare. Sorry, I forgot. That's called the snare. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For your tempo, you have to time up the hi hats too, so it doesn't sound like too bad. So, and you can customize it. For example, it can be. Sorry, I'm not really good at being an instrument, but that's how it is. So 1, 2. That's how it goes. Also, do not overuse the snares in case the vibe is not really up to it. Because if you overuse the snares, it would kind of mess up the song. So usually you should use it over two. You give a break to these two parts and then use it at the third. Same goes to this one first, so you exclude the first one and you go 1, 2, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. So the, for example, pretend it starts from there, so there's an additional one to these two blocks right here. There's another one behind, so it goes da 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 da. Has to give the vibe, and with the song itself, that's how it sounds like. And try to I forgot how to say it. Try to focus on the goofy woo 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 and see how it adds up to the song itself. So we start off from boyfriend here, the ending of the verse, the charging up verse. So boom, and that's how it's gonna sound like. And we're gonna stop here because we have to work up on two things. First, we're gonna work up on the chromatic scale I used. Now, you know that many FNF songs used notes uh, with different chords. Like a character can play two notes at the same time. It's a chord. So, for example, you wouldn't expect it in real life unless it's a feature from two singers. For example, Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga, and Die With a Smile. But you know, Friday Night Funkin' is a game, so anything can happen. You can play three chords, four chords. You can do a lot of things. And this character plays a chord, so he plays a. So it's pretty weird at itself. It sounds like that, and it does it again here at the end. Okay, so it plays a chord. You can do it. I mean, it's a game. IRL, you can play a chord with your throat. But here a quick tip about these notes. These are chopped notes. These are not the regular notes you find in FL Studio, because usually the regular ones they cover up the whole box here. They cover up a lot. And if you look for an actual note, let's see here. I'm gonna take up this for example. I'm gonna move up here again. So I'll show you the difference. So there it is. So 1 and 2. As you can see, it has the half of the full note to give it a chopped sound to uh, give it speed to the song itself. Because, for example, if I basically unchop all of these, which I'm going to undo later, oops, I will go to none. To basically chop these, you click on the magnet here. If it's on a cell or a line, you undo this and you click on none, which basically basically give you freedom of however you want to put them. It could be off tune, off sync. But if I use these at the full box, it's gonna sound kind of like the the character is struggling. It's gonna play too much. It's gonna play too long. But that's how it's gonna sound like. And I don't like it, especially if I use it on the 8-bit preset. So I'll put it back to the half it is, or I'll use another one to measure if it's on half. But we put it on 1, 2, so we know it's half. So boom, Control Z, Control Z, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we do okay. Now it's good. But which chopping it up, that's how it's gonna sound like. No, it doesn't sound. It's like it's chopped. It gives a more of a vibe, and that's good to go. Now we're going to analyze the second pattern of the song. So it has the same sync, everything, but the only thing that changes up here is the drums. The drums here change. They change tempo. They are building up of what's about to come next. So if the starting drums are like now this goes faster, and as you can see, from the kick to the snare to the hi-hats, they all speed up because it's like it's about to charge up the drop of the song. So I don't know if you get what I mean, but here you can see it's gonna get faster. I'm gonna undo this. Okay, I'm gonna go back to cell. So listen up to this. It's spinning up, and you can hear it in the song too. So we start off from here. So it's spinning up, it's giving up a vibe that it's building, but not enough. You have to give it a third panel. You have to give it a third channel to it's a classic build up drums, da 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 da. It's that drum, it's the drop is about to come after those drums. So for this one I only use the snare. So da 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 da. Okay? So I'm gonna let you play this alone itself. So I don't need to chop any of these. They can stay however it is. I mean, in the song itself, it they will blend in with the vibe, so you won't hear that they're either chopped or no. But yeah, here, listen up to the song itself, and then we'll move up to the actual drop. So boom, and we stop here. Now you have the charging up of the whole side here. The drop is incoming. Now we move on to the drop itself. So you're in the song, you can escape, you can go back again unless you get oofed during the boyfriend part. And sorry. So into the drop, we have to analyze the let's say the soul of the song itself. So has to give the vibe that you're into the song. You're gonna have to face a lot of problems. Uh, Now the bass changed. For example, my bass right here that I used again, I didn't use the same pattern. I changed it up. I still use the same pattern. So it's not jumping. It's more monotone. So it's not da 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 da. It's it's this monotone feeling, but I'll let you listen to it first, so you know what I mean. So the only thing I didn't change is the ending part that jumps to da da da. This is the only thing I didn't change, but the past the other thing I changed basically everything. So it just goes there. You can't change it. Now I also changed the melody itself. Everything, like everything has been changed. Also the drums, everything has been changed, and we'll go through each one of them. So for example, and we're going to the melody. So the vibe is very similar to the previous one, but now it's telling another story. Now it's telling, you're dealing with this big opponent. You're dealing with a very dangerous threat. Be sure to keep up the pace, otherwise your demise is there. And here, just listen to it. It might seem that it didn't change much, but it didn't actually. That it did change. Also in the song, you can hear it. It's adapting to the melody itself, and the same thing applies to the previous Glockenspiel used for the Undertale. So see, it's pretty simple, basic, nothing much. Oh, last breath. Okay, here. So applies to the same thing since they are playing the same melody on different instruments. Now, this right here is the same but it's now playing a more monotone yet mysterious kind of sound. So here, listen to it. You might be asking me, okay, what is it telling me? It's that tune. It has to add up to the song itself. It's an 8-beat part in which blends with the song itself. But if we go up to the drums itself, they changed. You expected, all that messy stuff, those big ass drums. Dun, 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 dun. No, these are. I kept it simple to give the vibe, to not overtake the song. So the drums are just simple. So seems that it goes slower, but it's preparing for what's about to happen next up to the song. Now here I added some chorus that imagine like there's some church people singing in the background. So same concept here I applied to the previous song. So I chopped up each note. So oops, undo, undo. Thank you. So now the only thing I changed is the order. It's kind of a unsettling pace because if you started with this being to the left, now the first ones are now to the right, and the last ones are all to the left. But it's still the same concept. Doesn't have to overtake the song. Has to blend in, adapt to the ears. It's like you're hearing opera, orchestra. So has to blend in to each direction of where it's playing. It's not all covered. It's not like all focused to the center. It's separated all directions. So for the key I used, it's just a major key, not minor, a major key. So that's how the chord and the chord sounds like. Kind of twitched up due to my bad computer, but I'll let you. I'll replay it again. Now, as you can see, I also kept the echoing. It's because these are playing from long distance, all around you. So left. We got right, right, left, left. They're playing from all directions, and yeah, they're playing on distance. It's like these chorus, these people sing it. They are rooting for your destruction, or for you. I don't know. Your call. But yeah, if you listen to the song now how it is, so we go back to the building part and we listen on how the drop now is. See how it is. Okay, so a lot happened here, but I'm pretty sure you missed something important here. There's a bass part that I added, which is this one right here that I didn't mention earlier, but that's not a bass, that's a kick that I masterized uh, by using a channel 7 with a fruity blood overdrive. Now, basically, this preset is meant to kind of ear rape the sound it's playing. So, for example, those ear raping songs, those meme, and here, that's how it plays out. Didn't you know that you could pitch up and give a tune to your kicks? So they could play out actual notes, even if it's a drum part. So a kick could be an actual note, and if you pitch it up, you give more volume, more power. it sounds even better because it's like a bass itself, but it's actually a drum. So pretty simple to understand. And to this with the song itself, it's gonna get just better and better from here. But something changed here as well. When we moved up after this first, after introducing our two new characters that sing together. Now, when I mentioned that um, these characters do usually they don't sing all together because they mess up the pace of the song, they overtake the melody. Well, in some cases, when a character could feel weaker compared to it's actually challenging itself. If you accompany it gives some company with another character, it does not sound bad at all. So, for example, if we move on to this part, so these chromatics have in mind that I chopped them from WhatsApp audios, so it's not recorded, so it's not I A E O U. Uh, that's all that's gonna happen. So it's people talking, but I try to chop those parts. When we um, just extend our vowels. So e, and yeah. No offense to my friend. No offense to my friend Nomura, but I gave a kick with my friend Oshinori, and together they sing very well. But if we put only her, she would have felt like overtaken because there's two people challenging her. But it wouldn't be a fair challenge if we didn't put another foe, like not a foe, another friend to stand by her side. She doesn't feel left out, and but herself alone sounds like this. Same thing, trembling notes, but alone itself has to be balanced to who is challenging because they played together. There's two enemies. It wouldn't be good if they challenged against one like boyfriend. So we helped it out with another person because it's 2v1. That wouldn't be fair, but we do 2v2. It's more fair. So we add the same part but with a different character. Now it's probably this one. Oshinodi is my favorite chromatic scale. I don't know. It sounds better than most of those I've done so far. But yeah, that's how he sounds like. Now, if you put it together with Nomura, so you do Oshinori and Nomura together, that's how they sound like. See? I mean, you can still hear both of them. Maybe one slightly weaker than the other, but they're singing together. They're facing the danger together. That's the thing. Now, the characters are preparing to you just override your singing, so I'm better than you and all of that. But if you look here closely, I changed the tempo of the drums, and it's kind of more complex now, as you can see. Like I added more stuff when it started, like kind of now it's all of that. I will go from each step to understand better what's going on here. So we got their kick, another kick. We got the snare. We got the hi hats. We also got the crash itself. And now we'll understand how the melody feels now. See, it's pretty hard to understand, but it's actually really easy if you look more closely because you got a constant kick that goes to. That's basically how it goes. Oops, let me move it up. Okay, back. Now, the only thing that changes here, we added a second kick with a different pitch, so this should be the foot drum. You have I don't really know about drums, but that piece you have at your foot where you push it, and we have we have different parts of the drums. I don't remember. I didn't study music at all. I just do things however I like them. But yeah, you're giving that song more energy now. You're giving it life. So with the drums itself, it sounds. Now this ending part, it sounds blank for some reason. It sounds incomplete because if we followed a certain level of drums, snares, and all of this, why in the end does it sound kind of empty? It's missing something here. Yes, it's surely missing another snare here, but it's made on purpose to tease, to give more suspense to the song. In fact, if you listen to it together in the song, that's how it sounds like. We're gonna play it from the crashing loading to the crashing ending with the drum that goes. So just listen it up. And we're gonna stop here. Now, the most of things that I kept not changed, so unedited, is the bass, the second part of the drums, which was the one to give more spirit to the song, the actual kick that acts out like as a bass. But now I changed the melody itself to give like that orchestra kind of feeling of that calm pace, like a little break before the big drop again. And I added an alarm from Undertale, that one that plays in the Flowey fight. So, but you have to be very careful to pitch these with the tempo of the song. So we click on these again. So double click. Okay. So the file itself is like this. It's bad. I know it's bad. Just look at it. It's missing a blank space. But thanks to FL Studio, we're going to the stretch mode. We do not do resample. We do not do any other pitch. We just do stretch. We go to time. We move this little thing up until it matches the box. So one, two, boom. Usually the system itself aligns with the black lines to separate the tempo, and while you stretch it, that's how it sounds like. Oops. So it sounds like that. Try to follow this with a drum. So it goes up to the beat of the song. Now I changed the three important melodies. So this one, the piano. So just move here. So now prepare for this. I know it might sound like, whoa, what's going on? Why did it start all calm and now it's getting chaotic? Well, we have to remind the player that the song is chaotic. So It has this break, but this part reminds you that you're not going easy. You're challenging something hard. So we replayed it again. Oops. See, chill so far, but at the end, it still reminds you that you're not completely done. Still have a lot more to do. Same thing applied to the glockenspiel thing here. So, and right there too. Boom. Now, the 8-bit preset I only used a few notes to just 4 notes to make it as simple as possible. Still on the alarm thingy that I meant earlier. So I know this last note sounds so off tune, like off sync, but it's made on purpose. It's still teasing you. It's giving suspense. So together with the song, that's how it sounds like. And we stop here because you see now we're back onto the actual track of the song, but not completely there. I'll show you what I mean. We're still there, same energy, but as you can see, the melody didn't change. Only the drums, the beats, the chorus, all of that, just these are added. But the melody itself is still leading that you're not completely done with this kind of part. You're not completely done. You still have this little break, but not really. It's kind of complicated to explain, but if you get me, that'll be way better. Like it leaves you with a yes, you're back into the chaos, but not really. Still have something left to finish. And yeah, I'll just let you listen to it. And now we stop on to which I think is the best part of the song. Nothing. And now you might be asking why? Why is your first part of the song the best part of your song? Nothing. It's because it's the break. It's a break from the actual fight. So no one sings, no one dares to move an inch. It's just, take your time, just prepare for what's about to come next. So, for this one, on the metal drums, I just use um my hi hats. Not really hi hats. It's the little cymbal. Yes, the cymbal. I use the cymbal to keep it as simple as possible. So no drums. It's all chill up. It's chill. But now what I changed up mostly is all of these audios. So if we take them all singularly, we have a church clap. So someone is clapping. Now we have a noise that I extracted from an FNF mod in 8-bit, which I don't remember the name of it, but it's probably like either Sonic or Super Mario. But yeah, I think it's Super Mario. And then I used a hey sample. Like what does it have to do with the song itself? Like hey. Now you'll get it. You'll get it now. But before we get onto it, we put the bass back to the previous one. So this one right here, one that played it all. But as you can see, I removed uh, all the melodies, and I just kept the OSC, the 8-bit. And there's a reason why, because it's a break. We don't have any main melody playing. It's a break, and it's just playing all music. So that's how it sounds at first. So okay, most of FNF songs have this kind of this thing playing all over it because it's a game. So um, most people use this. Now I am playing the same thing but with a different pitch at the end. So we got all of that before, and now we add this same 8-bit preset though. Boom, and we stop here, and it goes like that for a long time. Now we basically paste everything we did here. We paste it there, but we add the kick that acts out like the bass. So right here, boom. But we're not done. We made a um, different tune of this one. So we made a very similar channel, but with a different upcoming notes. So it's building up. It's building up tempo. So we do this plus this. Boom. And it goes up like this for a few until they get back and singing, and we have the same thing right here, but we add a kind of melody using the same preset but with a different sound. So we take it, and it has to sound like this. So it started off with 1 and 2, so kind of churchy. So we go 1 and 2. Oops, no, I forgot. Okay, that's how it goes. So 1, 2, 3. We use this, and it sounds like this. It's like it's kind of playing underwater, and that's the thing. Now it plays out like that. So okay, so it sounds like it's coming from an old radio, something like old, and yeah, like muffled, suppressed vocals right here. Not really vocals, less a plain melody, and still it reminds you that you're not done. Like it's a break, but there's still chaos coming on onto the next section of the song, just like the previous one. But I'm gonna just shush now, and I'm gonna let you listen to the whole thing. So I'm gonna start from here, and I'll let you listen. Okay, now like I will explain what just happened. Like, what's this? Why was it screaming there? I'll explain kind of the lore of the song right here. Basically, two people got corrupted by a similar thing. We call it to PB corruption thing. It's pretty similar, but it's like my own my homemade concept. And basically, these two boyfriend, while these two characters are singing, proceeds to throw like an antidote to this infection, and it hits this character merciless. He hits him, and I use this spinning effect, which resembles a syringe getting thrown at him, and I use this stabbing, it's knife stabbing effect. It's like it's kind of hitting him right in the chest. So that's how it plays. So then he gets hit, boom, and then it's bad when you get hit by something and basically just stabbing you, and that's how he reacts. Sounds like I'm stretching, which is the case because I recorded this audio while I was stretching. But yeah, if I didn't use this whole effects, it would have sounded like very bad, and you wouldn't even hear it in the song. So if I deactivated it, that's how it would have sounded like. Oops. Nope. I'm gonna activate this up again. I'm gonna go to here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how it would have sounded like. So it's like someone screaming in your ear with a very bad microphone. But with FX, you can fix everything, and it sounds like an actual horror character getting tortured. Boom. Now jumping onto what just happened, so he gets stabbed by this antidote, with this syringe, and something happens. He gets freed from this virus, and we have a Super Mario sound that we just had. So from Super Mario World, it's like you just obtain a new item, but it's actually a new character that it's now singing along you, and the Super Mario sound effect. I should have been more original, but uh, I'll just keep it just keep it like that. Now he jumps into action. You have a new character. As you can see, I had a new section with a new character. Now it's if you want to put it in some way, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 people against one because it didn't catch up the other one. So the other one is still fighting against 4 people. But we already know what's gonna happen. So we have this whole stabbing thing. You obtain a new character. It is now singing along you, and he plays this. Okay, now it's a lot to process, but it's gonna be easy to do. I'll be easy to explain this one. Basically, why did I use two different voices for the same person? Well, when you're ill, your voice is you have a sore throat. Your voice is kind of twitches up, and you don't sound like when you're actually fine. You're in good health, so your voice changes. So I used two different voices of myself, pitched it down to this when you sound you're good in health. So yeah, explaining all of that, we go back into the chaos of the song. So, but now you have a boyfriend and my OC Merciless singing along to beat this guy right here. So you obtain this guy. So we start from the stabbing again. So we start from here, from the two characters singing while boyfriend stabs the syringe into this big ass monster, and that's how it plays again. here. Uh, well, just listening to it gives me goosebumps because it's probably the best project I made. And yeah, so yeah, this whole singing, everyone I guess this monster, good. And now, why did I stop here in this section where there's nothing, just these? Now I'll just let it listen to you, and you'll figure it out by yourself. So this part is intentionally made to pretend to give you another break, which is not gonna happen because it's like, oh, you want another break? Nope, no, no. You're just getting a few seconds of stop before you get back into the chaos, and yeah, that's how it goes basically. So if you listen from here, boom, thrown into chaos again. But this time, as you can see, I did not keep the alarm anymore. Now I added more chaos, so the all of that, and I added everything I made past this area. I just splashed it in here, kind of adjusted the audio to not override the voices, and just added the alarm again, and boom. Now you're just in the final part of the song. You're giving it all to beat this person right here. And as you can see, I chopped every vocal, so each person gets to evenly play its side, its part of the song. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's an even match to not let everyone sing at the same time. So we go one character first. We go first boyfriend, second Nomura, then we have Oshinori, and then we have Merciless. So yeah, we got 4 versus 1, but it's evenly paired. It's not all in one. Otherwise, you wouldn't really understand anything. So we start off from here, from the break, and boom, straight into the chaos. Boom, we stop here because we did something. As you can see in the files, if we move on to the voices, there's two version of this character. So what happened here? We have a half corrupted character. Now you'll be asking me why. Basically, up to the lore of this song, since it's explaining a story, uh, these two characters before the stabbing, they were fused together. They were fused together. So yeah, once you hit one person, since they're fused together, a little bit of the antidote basically struck the other person, but not fully. So that's why he is half corrupted. So if the previous lyrics were all muffled, like 100% corrupted, we have this. Boom. This is what happens. But if we move here, since it was all muffled, I move on to the other pattern where it is almost freed from this hell. So we move on to this part, and now you can hear the voices still corrupted, but not mostly. Boom. See, from muffled garbage to actual lyrics getting their value in the song. So far it just keeps going like that, so I'm not really gonna yap anymore, so I'm just gonna let you hear the rest of the song until we get to the last part. So yeah, again, we start from this part right here, and boom, I'm gonna just shush and I'll let you hear the rest. Now you might be wondering, why did I stop right here? As you can see, I kind of broke a rule, which was do not let sing anyone at the same part. But I did, since it's the ending of the song. The message that the song is giving you is, okay, we're all together now. We're almost done. It's the end. So we're gonna strike all together to beat this guy. So one, two, three, four, all of us. We are all singing. So we got Merciless, Nomura, Oshinori, and Boyfriend singing against this dude, this big ass monster right here. So yeah, we're all together. We're gonna all sing to beat this guy. So yeah, now enjoy the rest of the song. Boom. Why did I stop again? The drums. We struck the drums the same, featuring the starting of the song when it was about to hit the drop. Now the drop is not in the middle, but it's at the end of the song. And a tip I give everyone who wants to compose a song: when you have more than a character singing a song, make sure to lower the volumes to let them be heard evenly and not one that overwrites the other one. So, for example, we had Boyfriend here. So, let's play this side here. We move a lower, so we go on to Nomura, for example. So we got, okay. Ooh, what happened here? So we go Boyfriend, Oshinori, Nomura, and Mercedes. They are all evenly adjusted in volume. So they are all not on the same level. So one is lower than another, one is mostly higher. For example, Nomura. So they all evenly sing, and they do not overtake the other. They are all paired correctly. So yes, now before I let you finish the song, this part here is the actual end. It's like you finish the fight, but not really. You finish the fight, but not really. Like, you're missing something to put an actual end to the fight. I'll let you listen, and I'll let you figure it out by itself. All good. That's the end of the song. There's nothing else added. As you can see here, this took like an actual turn before the end and the last part. So this was a Christmas Eve, let's call it, before the actual Christmas. So we play it again. It's over. Like no one is gonna sing anymore. Like, they're all just huff puff. We're tired. We finished singing, but there's something else we gotta do. Like, keep up listening to the song. There's something else we gotta do. And that is what we call an happy ending to the song. Something that starts up terrible and just ends up good. So he gets struck, boyfriend strikes. So we have another spinning sound effect. So boom, this time it strikes with a heavy, like a heavier rate than the previous one, because like boyfriend is putting all might to actually end it up. So boom, it's big strike. You get big strike, then I recorded them separately, but yeah, this is what I'm gonna just oops, nope. I'm gonna put this here, so I'm gonna let you hear them separately. So this is what happens. It basically jumps out of the corruption thingy, and he is good to go. Boom, it's all done. So we go back to this old thing. Oopsies. But yeah, I'm gonna fix it up later. Don't worry about it. But yeah, made this. We finished our song. It told us a story, and yeah, that's all. How you can make yourself a nice Friday Night Funkin' song. Boom. And you know what? I'm just gonna let you listen to this song all in once so you can understand best what's going on to the song itself. So I have to I forgot how to let the thing follow. Oops. So I forgot how to let it follow. Maybe like that. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Nice. So yes, enjoy the full song without interruption, without anything else. Peace, guys. Thank you for listening, and yeah, we'll see each other in the next one. that's all of it. It's very good. It's very good. I like this one a lot. Tells up a lot. But yeah, that's the FNF song. Thank you for listening. It was great. And if you found this tutorial useful, make sure to drop a like. And yeah, we'll 100% see you on the next one. Bye, guys.